work my 9 to 5 job. I wanted to be able to stay home with my babies. I wanted to be able to impact the lives of the people around me by showing them that literally just showing up as themselves was enough. And as much as that might sound really cringe to a lot of people, this was what I was convicted in. And so, over the last 4 years, I came into this for the business first. It has taken me that long to become aware of the product that we have pretty much partnered ourselves with, and without devaluing the product, I really want us to make sure that we are doing that by just leading with the business, which was how I led my business in the first place. And look, I've had to learn a lesson, but we have the most freaking incredible product in the whole world. Who can say that what they're really putting out into other people's homes is better quality water? When we realize that the chlorine, fluoride, and heavy metals and dirt that we're actually drinking is so freaking toxic for our bodies, we would really understand why it's so important that people have our products in their homes. One of my distributors actually works for Waterworks here in New Zealand, and he, on one of his social media page, took out one of the pipes, and you could see the heavy metals and the dirt that we're consuming. One of my other distributors, Lindsay, made a comment that really sat with me only a few weeks ago, and it was that if you don't have filtration happening inside your home, you're not showering it and you're not drinking filtered water, then your body is the filter. And that, for me, I was like, whoa, I don't want to be the filter. I don't want to have to be purging all this shit out of my body. And please excuse the swear words. I do swear when I'm passionate. But yeah, it's simple things like that we're probably not understanding around our product. So definitely get clarity around what you have, because we have literal gold sitting in our homes, and to be able to put that into other people's homes so that they have better quality water is absolutely, we're solving a freaking bigger problem than just our financial problems for why we started this business, right? We're solving problems for people. But one thing I really wanted to share is because before drinking this water, I actually was someone that suffered from, what is it? Not hydration. What's the word? Fatigue. Yes. Like really bad fatigue. Like I couldn't even go into a car and drive for 10 minutes. I would fall asleep. And so I suffered from really bad fatigue, and since drinking the water, no shit, I drove 2 hours. I couldn't do that 3 years ago before drinking this water. And whilst people might say, I don't know if it's just the water, that's the only thing that really changed in my life, and obviously the happiness that I've created inside my Enagic business, and that all comes back to Enagic. And so please just really discern what you have and be congruent with our marketing, because I know I've had to learn a hard lesson of being even told by my own leaders of not to devalue our product, because we've got the best product in the world to sell to people today. And so I actually want to share a testimony through one of our affiliates who have been bathing in the Anespa as well as drinking the water and making no health claims. She just suffered from bad eczema, and since drinking the water and having our Anespa, this is the difference.
Don't take this beautiful thing that I've got.
Yeah, so shout out to Marv. Literally before drinking this water and bathing in the water, she suffered from just really bad flare-ups with her skin, and you can jump on a call with her now and this is what she looks like. And so remember that we have gold at our fingertips, not just with this business model and the compensation plan, but also with the products that we are putting into the homes of consumers and distributors alike. And so without further ado, I want to be able to go into something that my partner actually taught. Now, as a leader of a community of over 900 people, the biggest thing I've actually struggled with, because I've done the thing really well, but I've actually struggled to teach it. And whilst I've seen lots of duplication happening in my organization, I've struggled to understand what is it that we were doing well. I was crying literally only a few weeks ago to my partner, because he also coaches insurance managers for the bank. And I said, I just don't know how to support my team in duplicating. Funny enough, I'm a Dash 2 leader and I still struggle with being a leader. So know that we're all human, and know that as so long as you're solutions-based, you're solutions-orientated, the answers will come. And for me, my answer came in the form of my partner. And I said, I just don't know how to help. And he said, well, in the bank, when I'm teaching my insurance managers how to create more sales or how to duplicate their sales, we teach them a fundamental called the success triangle, which requires them to know three things. One, having clarity. So inside our Enagic business, why I feel a lot of people don't duplicate our success is they're not clear around one, the product, two, the company that we're partnered with, three, the compensation plan. What is it that they're going to be earning off of their first sale? Personally, when I got started, the only reason I was so freaking excited to start being an Enagic distributor, I spent 2 months on YouTube because I actually stopped investing into the Freedom Era because I was broke. But I couldn't afford the $99 USD a month inside the Freedom Era. So I went onto YouTube and I started looking at Enagic's compensation plan. I got so clear around the money that could be made in here. It just excited me, as well as seeing what I could earn and looking at all the Freedom Era leaders. I was just like, I need to be a part of that movement. Clarity. Right? If people can get clear on the compensation plan, the products that they have, even how we're affiliate marketers, the fact that we're partnered with a company, already established company, and every time they make a sale, they earn a commission, clarity. When people are clear around why they're here, what they're doing, and how they get to achieve their success, it is easy for us to communicate that. What happens is if we don't have clarity and we're uncertain around how to respond to people about this business, it creates almost a leaky energy where we're not certain around if we did the right thing for ourselves. You find some of our affiliates be like, oh, did I just invest into a scam? Because they're not clear around the ethics of the company, the products, the compensation plan, what they need to be doing in order to create their success, clarity, right? The second thing is motivation. Now, you can have all the clarity in the world, but if you are not motivated to show up for yourself every single day, how do you expect to move your business? Motivation. It requires us to be so freaking self-responsible, team, because the Legacy Collective, the Freedom Era, we can't help you move your business if you're unwilling to show up for yourself. And so being so self-responsible for that motivation that is happening inside your business is crucial to your success. Without it, everything dies. It doesn't matter how good the compensation plan is, how great the product is. If you're not motivated here, you're not going to see success. And this applies to anything that you're going to achieve in life, team. 3, capability. Now, when you bring it all together, when you're clear about the compensation plan, why you're here, why you're motivated every single day to show up for your business, and it creates almost the triangle effect of having the capability to bring it all together, then you create a result. Now, personally for me, it requires us to do our due diligence. Now, the Freedom Era for me was where I spent most of my time in my first 2 weeks in business, because it allowed me to get clear around the products. It allowed me to get clear around how to be a leader. Before this, I wasn't a leader. I didn't lead anybody. I had kids. That's who I led. I didn't know how to be an Enagic distributor. I didn't know how to sell. And so I was so clear on what I needed to do. I was motivated to, I was working a 40-hour job in a high-stress role, working in warehousing and logistics. I woke up an hour earlier to jump on masterclasses so that I could learn, because when I started this business, I felt dumb. And compared to all these big leaders creating all the success, I needed to catch up. I was so motivated. I woke up an hour earlier. While I was driving my kids to school and driving to work, I was on masterclasses. I was listening to podcasts. I was reading self-help books. I was so clear on my intentions to be a successful Enagic distributor, because why did I start this business? The end goal is legacy, right? But you can create, obviously now I know you can create way more money before you hit legacy income. But back then my goal was, I would love to hit -3 in 5 to 10 years and never have to work a job again. That would be the best feeling ever. I didn't realize as well that I would need to grow as a human, because right now all you're working on is your own success story. You're just needing to sell a machine, right? That's for you to make money in your bank account. But the vision that definitely at some point has to grow to be able to impact other people, which happens quite quickly when you start moving your Enagic business. But you want to have the capability, the skill set, and that only comes with you having clarity and motivation. You have to have these three things in order to create success in your Enagic business. But guess what, team? Like, personally, I have run my Enagic business with so much simplicity. I don't use big words. Personally, I would say I'm very simple. I'm a straight shooter. Like, it is what it is. But it takes me 6 steps to create direct sales. And I am one of the highest, I am one of the like top distributors in Enagic across Australia when it comes to directs. Personally, as I said, I definitely built my business by building my leaders as well. So I built down. But I've brought in so many directs by keeping it super, super simple. In total, I believe I have over 200 directs under me that if they had been direct to me would have been wild. But I just use a 6-step process. In my Enagic business, I create content which brings in my leads, right? But I am clear around who I'm speaking to. I'm clear around my testimony. And so it comes with so much beauty that people are so freaking attracted to that. I'm so clear. I'm so motivated, and I'm capable of telling my story. The reason I'm clear, motivated, and capable is because I believe I'm clear, capable, and motivated. I don't tell, as much as I said I used to feel like I was dumb, I'm not going to continue to tell myself that story, because who the fuck does that help? That doesn't help me. That doesn't help you. That doesn't help the person that's needing to come and have our Enagic products. And so rewiring my brain to say, hey, I'm an incredible leader. This is my testimony. These are incredible products. This is the best fucking company in the whole world. That conviction is so magnetic that people want what we have, and they want access to me as a leader. And it will be the same for you. But first thing, content. I put out content. This is the way that I build my business. For you, the point of contact for your Enagic business might be that you put out an ad. It might be that you start to network in person. It might be that you do water demos. Whatever that first part is for you is really crucial and important that you understand that, because that part for you needs to be how people see your Enagic business. For me, it's content. For you, it might be ads. For you, it might be going to door knocking and selling the Enagic business. For you, it might be putting out flyers. Like, whatever that piece is for you, know that needs to be done in order for people to see your offer. Okay, but for me, it's content. Second is conversation. So I put out my content, and I also do a call to action inside my content that offers them the ability to reach out and say, hey, I'm interested in some information, which is normally in my DMs or in my comments. This in turn allows me to then send a masterclass. I do a qualifying, in my conversations, I qualify. I either want to know, are they working or are they not working? Reason being is, if they are working, I want to get a micro commitment from them. Over the next 24 hours, they can watch the masterclass, because people who are working are busy, and I don't want them to be leaving this too long. So I want a micro commitment. If they are not working, I send the link, because they're not fucking busy. I'm just like, okay, easy. And also because I say this shouldn't be how everyone leads their conversations, guys. I say this because I've built a network on social media of over 40,000 followers. So my DMs and my comments tend to flood quite fast. So that's why I qualify with just the simplicity of, are they working? Are they not working? If they're not working, I send my masterclass. If they are working, I get a micro commitment, then I send the masterclass. Okay, simplicity. I just keep it freaking simple. Masterclass I send out, which is just like, you guys could send out your TFE masterclass. Masterclasses are so important, and all our Enagic teams are on that masterclass, educating people around the company that we're partnered with, the products that we sell, and the compensation plan that is pretty much changed the game inside network marketing, right? And so I've never needed to educate people around the products, the company, or the compensation plan on my social media page, because that's what the masterclass is for. Then from there, after they've watched the masterclass, I know that within a 24 to 48 hour period, I get to follow up and say, hey, if they haven't already reached back out, hey, how did you find the masterclass? At that follow-up, step 4, we're either looking at getting on a clarity call or calling it quits. I am a leader that doesn't handle objections. Hello, I'm a human, but also I know my strengths. And personally, I just don't like to work with people that are hard to sell to. And so that's actually a weak point, guys. That's not my fucking strong point, okay? I just don't, and I haven't, and I'm okay with this. The way that I lead is I build momentum. I am solid in my foundation of how I've built my business, and I've built massive amounts of success. So I just know that for me, this works. Many of my team are incredible with objections, and they've been able to sell quads off of objections. But personally, my mindset, this may be a belief that I can change at some point, but right now it's not changing, is that when people have been hard to sell around or overcome objections, it kind of happens inside my Enagic business as well. And so I just know the people that I want to work with, which are the people that are like fuck yeah from the start, or take a couple months to be fuck yeah. Like, I want them to be fuck yeah by the time they work with me, not me having to constantly be challenged and having to overcome objections. While also know many of our leaders were came in that way, this is just not the way that I build my business, okay? So saying that with a grain of salt. But from there, follow-up call. If they're ready, perfect, we jump on a clarity call. If they're not perfect, they just go back into the slow lane and they will watch for however long that they need to watch for. I've had people come back a year later. Again, this is just how I build, and I'm okay with this. Clarity call. When we're on a clarity call, I personally take my own sales calls. So at your guys' point, this might be where TFE comes in and the DBS takes the clarity call. But that clarity call is not even to sell at this point. It's for them to just get clear. Like, I have so much certainty around my masterclass and also the way that I show up on my page that I'm just like, okay, cool. In New Zealand, a quad is about $24,000. They already know that on the masterclass because I'm selling the quad on the masterclass. And I say, perfect, you're ready for the clarity call. Just to let you know, like, let me know what you think, how you might want to get your financing in order to start your business. And what happens on the clarity call is they either flake on the clarity call, they push the clarity call out, or they jump on and they're scared and they still come through. Okay. But the fact that by the clarity call, everything is so transparent, they know what the cost of the product is, they know the product, they know the company, they've been watching me for long enough. It's quite clear for them to make an educated decision that things can happen really freaking quickly. And then from there, there's a result. So from that clarity call, they're either going to start or they're either not going to start. Okay. This is just like my 6-step process, and I've never wavered from this. It's a different thing to obviously move a collective. We've got a collective of over 900 to create this process. We do obviously do masterclasses and mentorships, which is just exactly the same. We follow the same process as TFE, masterclass, mentorship, urgent offer. But as a distributor, for you to make sales, you want to create content, have conversations, put out a masterclass, follow up, clarity call, and then you have a result. But the one thing I have known and what I really want to, just say is, like, we don't have control over the result. So if it takes you 100 clarity calls and 100, posts to get your one results, that's just how long it's going to take, team. It took me 5 months to make my first sale. It took me a year to go 4A. And because of everything that I was accumulating over that first year, I then created massive amounts of success. I was so clear, I was so motivated, and I never wavered. But imagine had I taken my foot off the gas. And especially if you start to think about how often we compare ourselves to other people's success. I'm just going to stop sharing. How often we compare ourselves to other people's success. Maybe they're moving faster than us. If I had honestly led my business comparing and not being honestly happy for the distributors, but also excited for what was going to come into my business for me, it would have crippled me. And I wouldn't have had the success that I've had. I wouldn't be able to say, hey, like, you can actually make a lot more money before you even get to legacy income. The reason I'm here is because I'm an example of a 6-step process that works. I'm an example of the love and leadership of TFE. I'm an example of, honestly, just being able to build with no bullshit excuse. Like, it really is up to you to create your success. And if I'm honest, team, like, when I went 3A, my uplines left. And I love them, like I so love them, and they're back now. I even joked with her yesterday because I was like, it took you 2 years to come back. And, you know, I'm working through even some of my leaders, just like not knowing if they're going to stay or if they're going to do other things. Like, we don't have control over what people do. And the only thing that we really have control over is how we move inside our business and being so certain around why are we here. Well, personally, I just knew Enagic was the solution for me. For other people, it might be that other things are a solution for them, and I'm so okay with that. I've watched my leaders go off and do other things and stayed so grounded here because I just knew that Enagic was it for me. But yeah, like even just being able to be an example for you guys to know, like legacy income isn't actually that far away. If you're running to 4A, know that legacy income can for you guys can happen as soon as you decide, as soon as you get clear enough, as soon as you get motivated enough. Personally, with the success triangle, how successful you are is really determined on how clear you are, how motivated you are, and how capable you are of bringing it all together, and how, you know, solutions orientated you are. But it really isn't that hard. Most times I've found that inside my organization with our leaders, their Enagic business problems isn't a reflection of the business model or our leadership. It's a reflection of their internal battles, their things that are happening inside our home. Like even for me, like I said, I could have gone -2 2 years ago. I decided that wasn't the goal. -2, -3 is not the goal. Financial freedom is the goal. My happiness is the goal. Feeling good about how I build my business is the goal. I'd never want to get to -3, or even you guys to get to -3 feeling like it was hard, because this business isn't hard, especially when you're able to work this business the way that you feel most congruent with. For me, it was leading with self. For you, it might be leading with the product. For you, it might be leading with ads. Like whatever that looks like for you, it gets to be so easy, but it requires us to be so honest with ourselves and also be so self-responsible, but it isn't hard. What's hard is constantly believing that it needs to be harder than really what it is. Because if it was meant to be as hard as we believe it is, I shouldn't be where I am. Because yeah, like I wasn't a big leader when I first jumped onto these huddles. I remember I was trying to find it the other day of me just saying fuck this, fuck them, and honestly I didn't know what to tell you guys around how I was creating my success. Inside in 2022, I went 9 months on the TFE leaderboard with no one kicking me off. 9 months. They stopped giving out gifts. So the fact that they're giving out $150 now, I'm almost like, oh, is this my season to come back and like run it up? But at the same time, like money doesn't actually excite me as much as it used to. And neither does being the top of anything. Like my happiness is so important to me. And so is creating the most incredible friendships inside my organization. Personally, I don't work with people unless I could see them sitting at my dinner table now. But I get to choose that because I have built what I've built. It's not something that I guess we have a full control over in the beginning. But yeah, like guys, this business gets to be so simple. And whilst things might be hard, the transformation might be hard, the saying yes to becoming a leader might be hard, the learning how to help people navigate the financial position they're in when they're wanting a quad and then feeling uncomfortable, like yes. All of these can be super, super uncomfortable, but the business model is super easy. We've got so much support, so much love that has been built inside these organizations. And so you have so much resources at your fingertips. There's no reason for us to not be successful unless we don't want it. But really, that's all I have. So unless there is something else that you would love for me to speak into, yeah, I will hand it back to you, Jen.